Peace, family. Happy new moon in Aquarius. Welcome to a deck a day. Keeping with the vibes. I may take a little break in the next couple of days with doing a deck a day. I've got a couple events coming up, so focusing on that. But given the fact that the events are specific to this as above, so below energy, I'm definitely going to be aligning. So I will definitely be doing this one for new moon energy and messages using the Moonology deck. And I will absolutely do another deck a day for Oya's feast day, the Orisha Oya, who is the Orisha of the winds of change, on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. I will also be doing an extended reading for this new moon in Aquarius, and I may connect with Oya directly and do an extended reading for that as well to see what messages she has for us. So no promises on that second extended reading, but let's start with where we are and align with this new moon in Aquarius, which is really about the future is now. This is really about, taking action with what it is that you've started. Again, we are now Venus direct, but we still have Mercury in retrograde, which is a time to not necessarily start new things, despite the fact that new moons are about starting new things, planting new seeds. So it's really about finding the balance and making sure that it's about something that you started. You want to take this time to finish it. You really want to think about an action plan and strategize accordingly so that you can still go through this Mercury retrograde energy without feeling like it won't necessarily come to fruition because it was something that was just started fresh through a retrograde. So we're going to be working with my Orgonized Wishcraft Wands. So see which one resonates with you. This one is with selenite and white agate, as well as steel and silver leaf and copper. And this is for purifying your space to bring peace into your environment. This one is the 7 souls of Ra, so it's aligning with the 7 energy centers, chakra. So we've got from red jasper to our crown chakra. And then we've got this one, which is to cleanse your space or whatever it is that you're using it for in regards to negative energy. So it is very much aligned in regards to protecting your energy as well, or your home. There's black tourmaline in here, and there is also white agate in here as well, with copper and steel. So whichever one resonates, let's see what Madam Moon has in store for you in alignment with this new moon in Aquarius, the water-bearing air sign, flow and breathe. So if you chose the first one here with selenite and white agate, your message is full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is forecast. So we've got balance energy here with our Libra, and whatever it is, again, we're talking about that thing that you started, it's time to really finish it. It's letting you know no more excuses, first of all, and no more fear. You don't have the excuse of, but what if? You're getting a confirmation very directly here that regardless of the things that may be holding you back in your thoughts, if you let that go and you just take action, which is again what this new moon energy is really telling us to do, then you are going to win the situation. That brings in the scales of justice kind of situation here, where we worry about a lose-lose situation or a win or lose situation, that the scales, one of them may be, heavier than the other, hanging down more than the other. You can see here that it is very, very balanced energy. So that's the win-win energy. The fact that whatever is on either side of this, you got it, you're good. So make the choice, make the decision, and you may be in a dilemma situation and wondering if you should be putting more on this side or putting more on this side, and you're kind of, in two minds about the situation. So this is basically telling you that no matter what it is that you do, as long as you are aligning with your purpose, aligning with your passion, being fair, again, this is about justice, about being balanced, that you are going to win. Everything is going to work out. And the win-win is also thinking about any third parties, any external parties that you may be questioning what you should do because you're wondering how it's going to affect them. This energy with Aquarius as well is about humanitarianism. It's really about collective consciousness. It's about your soul tribe. So you definitely do want to make sure that you are having your boundaries in regards to yourself, self-love and all of that. But lest we forget that we choose self-love so that we can love others better. So you definitely want to make sure that when we think of win-win, you want to make sure that you win and your soul tribe wins. The people that you do care about, that you want along this path with you, that you want to grow along with you, are also going to be benefiting from this decision that you make. So I hope that resonates. If you chose 7 Souls of Ra Wishcraft Wand, your message is see? Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. This is my jam because I'm a Taurus and I'm about hunker down and do the action plan. That's what this energy is. Figure out strategically, as I was saying just on the top of this before pulling the cards, that we really do have to now think about what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, strategize, really come up with the action plan. This again, because of retrograde energy, particularly in regards to Mercury, you don't want to necessarily start something new just yet. Mercury is going to come out of retrograde, technically the 3rd, 4th of February, but we do have retro shade. You have the retrograde shadow, which is at least another 2 weeks. So if it's about starting something new, I would definitely say to definitely reflect right now. And again, it's a rethinking energy and redoing and do the practical plan. This is about a plan. So no matter what, think about what exactly it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. The strategy behind it, the details, the logistics. Hash it out, create a schedule, create that to-do list, really, really figure out the nuts and bolts of it so that when it comes time, again, this is specifically if there's something new, when it comes time for you to pull the trigger and make this thing happen, you have everything in order so that when Mercury is direct again, full speed ahead, you've got the list, you've got it already, it's all set up. And the practical aspect of it, we have dreams, and this is what I love about this card, and this is really ties in to Taurus energy, which again is my sun sign, that we have these huge dreams and these are sometimes delusions of grandeur. We think really, really big, visionaries in that sense, but we're very grounded because we're earth signs. So because of that Taurus energy in regards to thinking about your dreams, bringing it down to the ground, making it practical. Don't just keep it in your head. Don't just think about, oh yeah, I want to do this thing, and then it's just kind of floating around in the air. It's like, okay, you want to do this thing. What is this thing? How are you going to do it? What are the action steps? You know, troubleshoot. Look into your competition, R&D. This is the time to do it, especially if it's about something that you want to start that's new. If it's about that energy of finishing what you did start, finish it in regards to knowing exactly how you want to finish it. What is going to truly wrap it up into a nice, pretty red bow so that things come to fruition. And then it's also about maintaining and sustaining that thing that you've either started and are about to finish, or that you're about to start once the retrograde is past. If you chose this one with black tourmaline to remove negative energy, also with white agate, your message is... Look at that. Look at that. Our current energy. New moon in Aquarius. Bring love into the situation. This was our foundation card for the full moon extended reading, for those of you who remember, that was leading us into this current new moon. So I love the fact that we are going back to that energy, and this reading, as well as the downloads that came from doing that reading, is what gave me the channeling to do the 6-day self-love commitment through the last 6 days of Venus's retrograde. It was this bringing love into the situation energy. No matter what it is that you're doing, whether you're finishing something that you've already started, you are in the planning stage, you're coming down to the practical nature of it all, if it's just a dream, wherever stage you're at, the idea, planting the seed, watering it, pruning it, trimming it, harvesting, whatever stage you're at, make sure that you put love into that. Make sure that you're bringing love into every situation, every dynamic that you're dealing with. Make sure that you bring love, compassion, forgiveness, healing. Start with yourself. Again, talking about Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy is a water-bearing air sign. So you have that double energy, which is, ironic in regards to most of the signs being very fixed in a sense of their element, their nature element. But you have an air sign that is a water bearer. So you have that energy of flow like water, but then you also have that energy of just the wind and the air and just kind of things breathing and just passing through. Inhale, exhale, be easy, be calm, but be firm. This is also leading right into Oya's energy, because Oya is the Orisha of the wind and the winds of change. So this is also letting us know that change is imminent, especially in regards to the work that we're willing to do, especially when it comes to making sure that we have a practical plan, especially when it comes to having that balance energy so that every party involved wins in this situation. I love the notion of win-win. I love the notion of dreams and practical plans and love in every situation coming through in this reading with this new moon energy, again with a water-bearing air sign being Aquarius, because that is the nature of things. It is really giving us a very, very clear blueprint in a sense of what it is that we need to do to make things work, and not just for ourselves, but to make things work for our soul tribe, for our community, and for the world. That's what self-love is all about, ultimately. So continue to water yourself, continue to breathe, and that's the love. You know, start with the love within yourself. Start with the love and the way that you, for us that are parents, we understand unconditional love because we love our kids in a way that we could never even explain. And I always try to liken that, and I actually did a reading today for someone, and that came up in the sense of the way that you love your children is what you should be able to tap into in regards to loving yourself, in regards to loving your business, loving your brand, loving your community, loving your partner, even if it can never be the same love. If you know that kind of depth of love, then you can modify however you need to modify it, but always start from that depth, because there's a higher chance that you're going to be able to give the most that you can give in any of those other dynamics if you're able to root yourself back into that most splendorous, that most gorgeous, that most unconditional, that most forgiving, that most, sacrificing kind of love. And then it's also going to help you realize if that is love, if you're able to feel even in a percentage, even remotely, the way that you are able to tap into that kind of love like you feel for your children, then you know that this is something right. You know that this is something for you. If it's something that you can look at and be like, no way, like I can't, there's not even, that's something to look at. And then it also is something to look at in the sense of making sure that you can put that energy in its appropriate place, or call it what it is, or don't call it what it is. Love is something that you don't just use lightly, especially if you're referring to somebody and saying, I love you. When you tell someone I love you, you are really exposing them. You're opening them up to a sort of a promise for them to trust, because along with I love you comes, you want this person to trust you. You want this person to believe that you're going to show up for them. You want this person to believe that you're going to be consistent. There's so many things that come along with telling someone that you love them. So in bringing love in the general sense into the situation is about making sure that you can show up for them, that you can be consistent, that you can be adamant about you declaring something that's sacred. It is the most powerful emotion on the planet. So we do have to be very wise about how we use it, and to make sure that we're not using it as a weapon, that we're not manipulating with it because of how much it is human nature to long for love. So bring love into the situation is also that encompassing energy of being mindful and soulful with how we use the word love, and the promises that that definitely does express just in using the word. So I hope that resonates. Again, I love when the current energy shows up in the reading, just, very much the alignment and spirit coming through. So I give thanks. And until the extended reading, which I'm going to do right now, till then, time to get back to natural. Peace.